All right, so I was really thinking about what does it really take to become a professional boxer? And I know some of y'all have probably thought about that, like, man, that could be me. I would really want to get out there in the ring. So we're gonna this time in this video, we're gonna really like venture in to see what does it take in order to be a professional boxer. I'm not obviously not a professional boxer, and I never have been and never will be. But it still interests me. What I did was I just did a lot of research, and I sort of put together some of the things that it seems to be consistent with all of the research that I put together. So, but before we get into it, if you don't mind, please hit that like button, and also subscribe, and then also hit the notification bell, just so that way you can be aware of everything that comes out. And because we got some pretty nice content that's coming through. So, and make sure to subscribe, man. You know what I'm saying? We're building out the channel. It's pretty nice. So, and you might want to stay out for the whole video because I got some stuff at the end that could be interesting. Anyway, so some of the stuff that you need, we're going to go step by step of what I found when it comes to becoming a professional boxer. All right, first thing, you got to get into a gym. You got to find a gym. So, and you definitely want to find a gym where obviously there's boxers that's there. So that way you can also find you a coach, and together with you and the coach, you're going to start to train. And probably you're going to have to pay the coach a little bit, but if you show some promise, maybe the coach might take you under their wing. Who knows? Um, and be like their little apprentice or whatever. But regardless, gym, coach, train. All right, you're going to be training for quite a bit of time. The coach is not going to put a good coach is not going to put you out there, um, out into the ring before they know that you're not going to have your head all splattered all over the canvas, right? So you're going to have to train for a little bit. It depends on you. Depends on how hard you train, how dedicated, how focused, how disciplined you are. All right. The next piece is once you have found you a gym coach and you've been training for a long time, you're gonna have your first fight. All right. So this could come a lot of different ways. You could just have a one and done type fight, or you could find like a tournament or two or three. Uh, from what I was seeing, a lot of coaches are going to try to put their fighters into these amateur tournaments so that way they can get a lot of experience in the ring. This is going to be beneficial for you, and it's also going to be beneficial for the coach to see like what type of or trainer, what type of fighter does he have? What type of heart do you have? What type of skill sets do you have? And then also what's some things that you need to work on, and that the coach and trainer needs to work on. So that's the next stage. After that, then it gets a little interesting. Depending on how well you do in these tournaments or just one and done bouts, uh, the coach could potentially call up either a manager, or if he has in his Rolodex potentially a promoter or two. Okay, this is very valuable for you because you need to be marketed. You need to be, they have to advertise you to make sure that your name gets out there, so that way you can start to get some higher level amateur fights. Now, mind you, we haven't gotten nowhere close to the pros, but we got to get your name out there, and we got to make sure that people know who you are and what you're about, right? So you get out there and you start fighting, you start winning because you're doing a great job training, you're disciplined, you're focused, and then you got a great coach, you got a great trainer, you got a great gym. Okay, so everything is going smooth. You got your promoter. Well, you're probably going to need to go ahead and get you a license. All right, so you got to get you a boxing license. Now, every single state is a little bit different, but usually they have like a boxing commission or or sports administration or something like that within your state. So you're gonna have to to probably get your license, so that way you're good to go with that. Um, Once you get that, then you got to keep on building up your resume as far as your amateurs. I saw where Muhammad Ali trained for something like 6 or 7 years before he went pro. So that's another piece to this. It's not quick. I mean, yeah, you might knock out a few folks, but no, no manager and no promoter is just going to put a whole lot of money and time into you until they know that, okay, this guy is going to go to the next level. So what you have to do is you got to stay focused for not for 1 year, not for 2 years, but probably 6 to 7 years of time that you got to stay focused and disciplined. Being in the amateurs, getting no pay, right? So after that, or very very little, but probably hardly no pay, right? So anyway, you get out there, keep on fighting, keep on fighting, and everything like that, and then your manager and your promoter could potentially start to line you up for something decent, and it could come in a way of like a showcase or something like that, like an amateur showcase, and it could be some of the top fighters within your state. Um, they could also get you up with a mentor, somebody that's been a boxer for a long period of time, and get you up with some of those type of folks, so that way it can sort of line your career up for a nice entry into professional boxing. um, Other than that, 6 to 7 years of training, having a good gym, having a good trainer, having a good promoter and a manager, having your license, um, making sure you're focused, you're disciplined. You're pretty much there. Now here's the tricky part. All right, you gotta stay with me on this. Here's the tricky part, and this is the thing that I wanted to talk about at the end of the video, is that you can't start too late. Okay, because Father Time is knocking on everybody's door, right? So you can't start fighting when you're 50 years old. You know what I'm saying? It's a young man's sport. So you're gonna have to get in there. Probably you got to end out your amateur career uh, at the latest, probably 26 years old. I would say probably 24, 25 would be good, but definitely end out your amateur career at 26, because you want to have a good, decent career. And most fighters' careers probably ending out, at least at the elite levels, at like 35 to 37 years old. I know there's some exceptions. I know there's some people that are fighting in their 40s and things of that nature. And I know we're living longer. But look, the likelihood of you fighting in your 40s, slim to none, especially getting hit like that. I mean, still, you're getting hit in the head. Remember, your brain is there, right? So just, you're going to think, your career is going to be from 26 until about 35, if you're good. I'm talking about real good. So, but what I saw, most of the fighters have like a 4 to 6 year career, if that. Okay. And don't get it twisted. When you get to the pros, you ain't gonna be making no $1 million, multi-million dollar person. You ain't gonna be hitting no 100 mils like Mayweather now. You're gonna be getting minimum wage. You know what I mean? Some of these purses, don't let them fool you. Some of these purses is like 45, 50 grand, right? Split. And that's good purses. I'm not lying. And if you don't sell out the arenas, or you don't make, real splashes in the professional arenas, uh, if it's even less than that. I saw a lot of these fighters that are getting purses of like, for a fight, $2,500, $3,000. No lie. You train for months and you get $3,000. Now, granted, the whole purse might have been like 15 grand or something like that. But you got to pay promoters, managers, trainers, cut men, all that stuff. Don't get, so I want all that to be out there. That's, but this video is not really about the professional boxer. This is really just about the amateur. So just so that way we can sum it all up. You want to get a gym. Okay? You want to get in the gym. You want to get a trainer, like a coach, because you got to start training. Once you start training, you need to make sure that you train for a while, so that way you can get your first fight. You might have a one and done fight, or you might have like be put into a tournament. You got to shine out there in that tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to shine out there. Then once you shine, more than likely your coach is going to try to ring up one of his friends that was a manager or a promoter way back in the day, and that's going to be your first manager, your promoter. They're going to start advertising, start promoting you, try to get your name out there. Once you get the name out there, then you're going to still be training. You're going to be training and fighting for like 6 to 7 years. You got to make sure that you get your license, right? And when you get your license, then after you get your license, you want to have some more fights, have a really great amateur resume, so that way it will set you up for like an amateur showcase for your state. And once you get into those big showcases, that could line you up for like a good mentorship with a top fighter or something like that could take you under their wing. And maybe, you could get lined up with a really good promoter and a really good manager that could actually take you from the amateurs onto the pros. But you want to make sure that you don't have a long amateur career, because you don't want to be in a situation where it's like 20. You don't want to be past 26 years old going into the pros, because remember, Father Time is knocking at your door. So with that being said, I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope that this gave you some value, and please hit that like button and also subscribe, and just, what I'm saying, hit that notification bell and join the channel, man. We're growing. The team is growing. I'm really excited about all the growth and everything like that. So yeah, with that being said, hope that y'all have a really great day, and I hope that it is very productive and peaceful. So with that being said, peace, one love, and yeah, we out of here. Oh, bow.